Don Davies, NDP lunatic in the House of Commons. He's the leader, actually, so this madness should be of no surprise. He says today in Parliament, I introduced the National Renewable Energy Strategy Act, which mandates a national strategy to achieve 100% renewable electricity generation in Canada by 2030. Saskatchewan says no thank you, by the way. And this is why the NDP has just, half a dozen MPs. So let's hear from him.
I'm honored to rise today to introduce the National Renewable Energy Strategy Act. I thank my colleague from Rosemont-la-Petite-Patrie for seconding this legislation and all his work to protect our environment. The Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change has been clear that we must cut global greenhouse gas emissions in half by 2030 and reach net zero by 2050 to avert catastrophic global climate change. The time for action is now. That means implementing solutions for clean energy and transitioning away from fossil fuels. While we do this, we must ensure that workers are not left behind. Jobs in Canada's clean energy sector are projected to grow by nearly 50% by 2030, and the industry's GDP contribution is on track to reach $100 billion by the end of this decade. This legislation would accelerate our transition to a clean energy future by requiring that the Minister of Natural Resources develop and implement a national strategy to ensure 100% of electricity generated in Canada comes from renewable energy sources by 2030. I call on all parliamentarians to support this vital initiative for our country and for our planet.
This is 5 years from now. Like, these people are just so out to lunch. Like, what reality are you living in where you think that this would actually be achievable in the next 5 years? It's staggering to me.
Thank you, Mr. Vancouver Kingsway, but it gets to be below -40 here in the winter, and we get about 6 hours of usable daylight. What the hell else are we supposed to do with our time? Should I just burn firewood to keep warm? Are we going to outlaw that too? Like, this guy is living in a very distinct, as I said, his Birkenstocks don't leave the pavement kind of bubble in the temperate climate of Vancouver Kingsway. I've seen what happens to Greater Vancouver when those people get a skift of snow in the wintertime. We're supposed to be on 100% renewable. We polluted our grid in Alberta with renewables. And as energy rich as we are threatened with rolling brownouts in the darkest parts of winter because we rely on renewables, because we were unable to build out natural gas backup in a timely fashion, thanks to old Rachel Notley, our former premier of the NDP, scaring away investment like some sort of scarecrow in the field. So places that try renewables, they try and fail unless you're some sort of equatorial region. But this is a big, vast, cold, sparsely populated place, at least in most of the country outside of the major city centers. And Mr. Don Davies would do well to visit those places and talk to those people, because I'm not freezing to death to achieve his sort of net zero utopia.
I think he should take an electric vehicle out to some of the most northern parts of Alberta in peak winter and see how far he gets, and then decide what is it that he's going to do when he's stranded on the side of the road because his battery died in -40 weather with this 100% renewable vehicle that he has opted to rely on exclusively. Like, this is just absolute craziness that these people are proposing, which makes sense that they're not even considered, like, they're not even a recognized party in Canada's parliament anymore, because this is the kind of extremism that comes from their mouths, unrealistic extremism. And I wanted to just note too that in all of the upholdings of democratic due process, of course, Don Davies has restricted who can reply to his clip here on his X account. So he has been absolutely ratioed in the quotes of this clip because nobody can comment under it to let them know how they really feel.
He's got me blocked. I just realized he's got me blocked on Twitter because I was like, I should
illegal.
Well, he's
Not
not
illegal,
in government, but it is in bad faith. If he were using government resources to run this account, we'd see him in court. But this is just pathetic. I went to quote tweet it to say, like, I noticed when I was in Kananaskis, they have like behind the casino there. There's like a native run casino on Kananaskis land, and they have their obligatory chargers, electric vehicle chargers outside of the casino. And I noticed that they were never being used, like ever, ever, ever. The RCMP had parked their ATVs in the stalls there, and then there was an empty flat deck trailer, which obviously had been there, which like carted in the RCMP ATVs, but there were no electric vehicles there because they're a good hour out of Calgary. So yeah, I was just going to share that photo with him, but he has me blocked like a baby.
Of course. Yeah, we love democracy until it means that we become criticized by independent media.
Let's face it, Canada's economy isn't heading in the right direction. Inflation's eating away your savings, and government debt is out of control. No politician is going to fix that overnight. With Guildhall Wealth, you can hold real physical gold and silver inside your RRSP. It's a time-tested way to protect your retirement and take back control of your wealth. Call 1-877-8-SILVER or visit guildhallwealth.com/rebel to request your free investor kit. And hey, make sure to mention Rebel News.